Hooray for shovelware! I'm Joe Redland with a review of 3 horror movies that I just watched that weren't any good. Cupid, Don't Speak, and Abigail Haunting. Like any multi-film review that I do, there will be spoilers throughout, but the reason I'm reviewing bad horror movies is, one, I'm trying to see how many, 2020 releases I can see since theaters aren't really open in my area at all. And I was like, okay, I'll stream some stuff. Hey, I've seen some horror movies that I ordered on Amazon that I didn't think were going to be any good that turned out to be goddamn amazing. Unfortunately, neither of these 3 were, and really, it's kind of sad because some of them could have been entertaining. One of them was kind of okay, and 2 of them were really not very good. In fact, a couple of them were really fucking boring. So let's start off with Cupid. So it's from Scott Jeffrey, one of 2 movies I'm going to review of his, and it's from Uncorked Entertainment, one of 2 movies that they did. Basically, the best part of this movie was the opening, talking about the origins of Cupid and why he got turned to the dark side. Now he'll take out love instead of giving love to people, making them fall in love, shooting his arrow and everything. It's basically because he got turned and corrupted by evil, and now death will send him out if somebody summons him and wants to eliminate all love in the world. This isn't the origin story, it's a different origin story. So, unfortunately, I think that's where at least half the budget went for the movie, because it sure didn't go to any of the other special effects. So we cut to a dad on a dinner date. His daughter comes up, "Dad, I'm sorry, I thought you were cheating on Mom. I summoned something." And now Cupid, who takes about 4,000 years to shoot any arrow, it's absolutely amazing, it's so fucking drawn out, kills the girlfriend, or the date, kills the daughter, or stabs the dad, with an arrow, shoots him, and then puts the daughter's head right through the goddamn arrow that's on the dad's leg. And that takes like a minute to happen. And it's just, oh my god. This is where I was like, okay, now it just went, it blew its load so quickly that now we're going to get to just the real bad shit. Then we cut to a girl named Faye, who has something for her, one of her teachers, in the sense that she wants to be with him. But of course that can't happen. Teacher-student relationships should not fucking happen. And she has been doing black magic and been trying to do these love spells again and fall in love with her. Also, she's got a friend that actually is clearly in love with her, and she's being bullied by girls. One in particular because the mother, Faye's mother, is banging her dad. Because Faye's dad died about a year ago. Okay, so the girl's naturally bullying her, and Cupid gets summoned, and things go really, really south really, really fucking quickly. And then everybody gets picked off in really stupid ways when they all get trapped at the school. And there's a subplot with these 2 teachers falling in love and everything. And here's why the movie wasn't good. If you take a stupid concept like this, and the fact that the Cupid actor had a papier-mâché-like mask, and that none of the special effects are any good, and the accents were all over the place, and the acting wasn't all that good. It's not that the actors are bad. The acting just wasn't that good. Because I think it was all done in 1 take. Maybe 2. Because a lot of these lines were delivered with like, oh, what the fuck. So Cupid basically dispatches everybody. Dispatches one person in an inventive way, stuffing roses down their throat until it grows out of her, neck, which actually was kind of cool. And yeah, I ended up writing down the death sounded like he was gargling with marbles. And then this old woman had shown up during this detention session. I guess she was the headmistress of the school, and the word headmistress will always make me laugh. And then she dies, and then everybody almost dies. Like a few people do. One guy gets his arm hacked off, the best friend of Faye, and then you see the girl with the roses in her throat, and they cut right to her, and they cut at the worst time, or used the worst shot where she's breathing. They couldn't have possibly redone that shot. And they have 2 minutes left, and then the bullying girl gets killed. And then suddenly, after 24 hours with this curse, it's lifted, and everybody that remains alive is good. Everybody's good. Faye feels bad. And then she ends up hitting the bullying girl that had basically been, that had pretty much humiliated her by playing a prank on her, and hit her and basically killed her because she got an arrow through her goddamn nose. Yeah, Cupid gets a fucking F. It really isn't all that good. And that's disappointing. If this movie had just not taken itself so seriously and just gone the horror comedy route, I'm not saying it would have been great, but when you have very limited resources to work with like this, go the comedy route and just have fun. Not maybe go full slapstick, but just have fun with it. It's about an evil Cupid, and the special effects are absolute shit, so just have fun. Anyway, yeah, F. Don't speak. Okay, you see this? This is A Quiet Place. Congratulations, you've seen Don't Speak. Basically, there's this creature that is haunting this family that goes to search for the search for the whereabouts of the mother and the father because the father's been sick. They show up and the small town is abandoned. The house is abandoned. There's a slimy creature that hunts by sound, and everybody does a bunch of pointless, long walking scenes where I was ready to actually give this one, after the first 30 minutes, I was ready to give it about a C. And then it just dragged and dragged. If they had taken Cupid, Don't Speak, and even the other movie, and put them, just Human Centipede them together in a trilogy of horror, just like, short films, might have not actually been that bad. I mean, I probably wouldn't have given them huge marks, but you would have trimmed a lot of fat, i.e. about 2/3 of each movie. The acting was fine. And also, the girl that played Faye is also in this. I don't know why that amused me so goddamn much, but it did. And also, this is from Scott Jeffrey and Uncorked Entertainment. You gotta start somewhere, and I hope that this guy maybe can get a chance to direct something actually good with a budget. But yeah, Don't Speak, the slimy creature just made me laugh. It hunted by sound. It trapped its victims in, cocoons that were actually just mesh nets. And spiders developed out of one lady's stomach. And apparently can lay eggs by biting people or cutting people. And it's also some kind of man-made thing. That's really about all that we get from this movie. It was so drawn out and mind-numbing. I think this is the one I hated the absolute most. And then it looks like everybody's about to die. And then this boy's about to shoot, a boy that's in a group, he's about to shoot, and then, oh no, the bullets are out, the mother's trapped, everything looks lost, and then suddenly special forces show up. Seriously, special forces just fucking show up. Like, what the actual shit? Nobody called, I don't know how the hell they got there. They just said, okay, we're gonna retcon it, fuck it, just special forces, go out there and fucking do this. So yeah, Don't Speak gets a goddamn F, and I'm just doing this with these notes because it was fucking shit. Now let's get to Abigail Haunting. Okay, so at least it wasn't from Uncorked Entertainment or Scott Jeffrey. You have a girl named Katie that is part of a heist that goes tits up. Her abusive ex murders his partner, his partner in crime that is. She wants to get out of the relationship and murders him. She goes back to her foster home, and there's the foster mom, Marge, is all, kind of destitute, stuck in the chair and everything, and what the fuck? Why is she there? Why can't she leave the house? There's a guy delivering groceries, says, you may want to get out of this house, nothing good ever comes out of it. And what the fuck's going on? Alright, so basically what it turns out is there was this other foster girl named Abigail that died in the house. Now, why did she die in the house? Well, as things unravel, there's this stuff with this old flame/friend that Katie had, and he's got a son that kind of, interacts with the ghost as well. And here's the thing. A double-wide horror movie is not exactly how you go about it. Nothing has double-wide trailers, but it almost looked like a single-wide. Like, you can't really do much with it, and you can't make it very atmospheric. And it sounds like I'm really down on this movie, but here's the second act twist. It's the best one of the three that I saw. Now, that's not saying much, because it was pretty fucking stupid, but at least it had something where, like, you were trying to have your characters have some layers, like they come from broken homes and stuff like that, and it was something where, okay, you can't escape your past, you can't really, and you shouldn't try to go back and rectify anything from your past, you should keep moving forward. At least that's what I gathered from it. And once she got in the house, it became pretty obvious that Abigail took a special interest in her. Well, here's why. It turns out, according to this, just the plot that just suddenly throws it at you, even though it's hitting you over the head with it clearly and obviously, that Katie is the daughter of Abigail, this girl that died, and her body was found in this toy chest, and what the hell? Turns out that Marge was upset she couldn't get pregnant, and the foster girl had gotten pregnant, and she murdered her, and Katie ended up being alive and then, was raised and then escaped the home and stuff like that. Now is home to reunite with her ghostly mother that won't let her go. Oh yeah, and the ex that I talked about that she shot, yeah, somehow was alive. Somehow was alive. I don't know how the fuck he was alive. Did she miss? Did he just fall asleep for 2 to 3 days or 5 weeks? However the fuck long it was. He shows up because there's some money that she stole, and he ends up getting choked out, and then she ends up getting trapped in the shed. After escaping, she ends up being trapped in the house, and now she can't leave because she's there with her. She's there with her daughter. Or she's there with her mother, and also with her daughter, because it turns out she was pregnant as well. So it's a vicious cycle of shit. I mean, I don't know how you really want to describe it. Honestly, Abigail Haunting, at least for what it was, gets a D. but none of these movies are very good. They were on Tubi, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the review. So if you can handle a few ads, Tubi actually is a pretty good streaming service. It's free. A lot of riff tracks, a lot of MST3K. But yeah, that's really about it. It just wasn't very good. Like, that was the best of them, but any of these movies, like, I'm just really trying to watch a bunch of stuff just to see if I can get to 100 plus movies for the year that were released in 2020, because then the end of year list will be a whole lot of fun. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.